ほう、竜を刺激する能力か。ドラゴンサマナーとかいうやつかの。
ともえ、私
くだらぬ思念を飛ばすな小娘。
What's going on, my friends? We have 𝐒𝐶𝐼MICHI episode number 6, and there was a lot riding on this week's episode of 𝐒𝐶IMICHI. And you know what? I wanted just to tell you, is like, it's not even so much was riding on this episode from like a reviewer's aspect. Like, I've pretty much committed to 𝐒𝐶IMICHI, and it's not so terrible like the Tank anime this season, or like the instant kill anime this season. It's not as bad as a few of those other ones that I'm just like, yo, this is so bad I can't even watch it. It's nowhere near that whatsoever, okay? So I want to put that energy out like right meow. Like, it's not that bad, like, at all. So the thing with it when it comes to 𝐒𝐶IMICHI is like, I absolutely loved season 1. I think season 1 is awesome, one of my favorites out there. Like, if I compile a list of isekai anime, like, I love Mio, I love Tomoe, I love everything that season 1 did. But season 2, my biggest problem with it is they've been, you know, JC staff, which I generally have pretty good faith in, they have been coming at this from the place of, which is a good thing in some aspects of, we have 25 episodes, we don't need to kind of blow through anything. We went from a Sonic pace to like, okay, now we can just kind of, we just walk the path. And that drastic shift in pacing is kind of hard to, you know, absorb. So with that being said, episode 6 for me as a viewer, not a reviewer, was really important for how much I was going to continue to enjoy this show as we go forward. From a reviewer's aspect, like I said, I'll continue to review it. You know, some episodes are going to be better than others. You know, we're going to have those, like, you know, ups and downs and stuff, whatever. Like, you know, that's going to happen. But from a viewer's aspect, it's like, how much enjoyment am I going to get out of this show? Well, episode 6, I'm very, very glad to say it brought me back. Now, I'm still going to tell you up front, I'm still struggling as shit with the names of these damn heroes. So I'm just going to keep referring to them as, you know, I hero and friend hero or student council hero, because I've ask me what their names are. I forget. But anyways, this episode I thought was really, really good because it not only incorporated some of the things that I find like my favorite things about the show, which is Mio, which is Tomoe, but then it incorporated the 2 new things that it showed us this season. It introduced us to the hero who has a bad internal mental complex or whatever kind of mental instability he has going on with his head, you know, the 2-eye hero. And it introduced the student council hero, which is the most popular girl in school, or maybe she was a student council, I don't know, but the most popular girl in school who, you know, had some kind of semblance of interest in Makoto. So you have those 2 heroes, and in one way, we had Tomoe meeting the 2-eye hero here, and for whatever reason, you know, one of her new followers, you know, the guy that they introduced us to last season, he was followed. And Tomoe, I love how she's like, you know, samurai to the nines. You know, she put them in their place, and she basically like, you know, kind of gave that energy of like, you know, she's stronger than anything that they've been putting out. And she ends up putting the hero in his place, dispelling his eye stuff. He's not able to manipulate her or anything, and that sets him on a frenzy, on a course of, I gotta have her kind of thing. Because again, he has mental issues for sure. He's not all there. He's not all there in the right way. And now they set him on a path. But Tomoe has kind of shown this like 1% of her strength. And I think that was a really interesting thing. On the opposite side, then we have the student council hero who runs into Mio, and her spirit dog apparently has you know, met with Mio before in the past, or has had a run-in with Mio before in the past, prior to, I guess, this spirit being attached to, is her name Hibiki? Whatever her name is, student council girl. And I like how Mio puts the spirit in its place. I thought that was a really, really, you know, really cool thing. But she runs into Mio, and I was like, that's cool for her to run into Mio, because I think she's ran into Mio in the past prior to Mio, you know, being Makoto's. I think she ran into her before when she was like a spider monster and got obliterated. And at least that's what I think. I'm not 100% sure. You guys can correct me in the comments. But I like how she ran into her again. And, she like kind of became friends with Mio. And Mio saved them. And Mio kind of like let them know like, hey, like you guys are like weak. And she introduced him to the shop because right now Makoto has 2 shops. So she took him to one of the shops in one of the other towns that one of the, I want to say troll, but one of the dwarfs are running there. And she's going to hook her up and she's going to get them with new weapons and she's going to make them more powerful. She's going to introduce them to Makoto again very soon. And I think that's a really cool thing and really cool dynamic. But then, the student council girl's also teaching her how to, make food and have a better palate and stuff. And I just think it's really cool on how they've kind of been introducing the dynamics. And then now at the end of the episode, Makoto's going back to the Debbie plane. And they left us off on a cliffhanger, but I think it was a bad cliffhanger. They left us off. He shows up. He's like, but it's like, okay, well, they should have showed us like a glimpse of kind of like what he was looking at. Maybe like it's unclear if he landed the Debbie plane and there's something like big there, or he landed somewhere where he didn't. It wasn't a Debbie plane, landed somewhere else. It's really hard to tell. But they left us on a cliffhanger that just wasn't very good. And then we found out the next episode's called New Member Audition. So I'm guessing that the hero, like that Mio's messing with, maybe she's going to bring her into the fray. It could be something else. We could just be finding like a new person that they introduced. But I think where this anime thrives is its focus on, of course, Makoto. But I think when it thrives when its focus is on Tomoe and on Mio, as those two are really what make the show really good. And that's generally what they made, what made season 1 really good was Mio and Tomoe's antics, not only with the people and their followers and the monsters, but also with their dynamic between Makoto. So when some of that's removed a little bit, it's not as entertaining. So that's been my struggle bus with season 2 is less Mio, less Tomoe, and more focus on these new heroes, which is okay. But then it's slower pacing and, him being a school teacher and silly stuff, And I saw last week, too, a lot of comparisons with the Slime anime. And I just think, like, Slime anime is just a better show. Flat out. So maybe this got inspiration from Slime anime. Maybe Slime anime got inspiration from this. But whatever, I think, when it comes to Rimuru and Slime anime, that just does it way better. But again, I'm just going to look at this one on its own merits and say, like, the teacher stuff is a little silly. But anyways, episode 6 brought me back. I think this was a good episode. I enjoyed it. Again, more Tomoe, big time good. More Mio, big time good. All right, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. I'll see you, my friend, next week for episode number 7. Peace.